All right, ladies, let's talk about why men do not court anymore. Let's go. The reality is that modern feminism in a lot of ways had us as women take a gamble, and we lost. We took the bait that being sexually promiscuous and having no standards and no self-respect was cool and in. We decided that we would give men access to our bodies and our time and our energy without them having to put in any effort. We have allowed men to do the bare minimum for so long, and we still give them benefits that they don't deserve. And so now men are following suit, and we are confused as to why this is happening. It's okay to want a man to lead and to court you, but you have to understand that we collectively as women set the tone. So if the tone of the dating market is that all women are easy now and that men can pretty much get whatever they want and do whatever they want and still get access to us, then that's what the majority of men are going to do. There are plenty of men who are good men who love women and respect women and honor women. But even those men, if they are single and there are women out there that are throwing it at them, they're going to catch it. So just ask yourself, what kind of woman are you? And are you contributing to the problem? Are you the kind of woman who is allowing men to be low vibrational and contributing to this idea that all women have low standards and that men can do the bare minimum and get away with it? Or are you a woman who's leading by example and challenging other women around you to do the same by operating from a place of self-dignity, self-respect, values, standards, strong boundaries, a woman who knows her worth? Before we start whining and complaining about what they aren't doing, let's take a look at what it is that we are.
She was so close, and yet still missed the mark. Okay, let me help her out, because modern women don't understand. There's a very big difference between dating and courtship. Dating is two people going out to an activity, hoping they like each other at the end of it. Dating is two people approaching this thing with questions to ask about the other, hoping to build a connection. That has nothing to do with courtship. Courtship, by contrast, was a young man doing what he could not to impress the woman, but everything he could to impress her father, her brothers, her uncles, and her grandfather. He had to convince that man, who would ask him, "Who are your parents, son? Where do you come from?" If he liked the answer, there was a check on the young man's green column. What do you do for a living? Translation: does what pays you pay enough where you can take my daughter from under my roof where she has food, clothing, and shelter under your roof and never miss a beat? That was what courtship was about. Courtship was that young man proving to that girl's father that he could A, take care of her, B, be good to her, C, hopefully, come from a good family that wouldn't bring shame to hers. Fourth, make it sure that if he hopefully was healthy, he could give her children, hopefully she can as well, and that he could defend her, hopefully with his hands, and if necessary with the rifle or pistol in case somebody came in their house when the father wasn't there to protect her himself anymore. That's courtship. And you know what he got for all that? If the young man could pass all those checks and jump through all those hoops for the father's approval, he got a virgin on his wedding night. And he got a dowry. Could be a cow, a horse, jewelry, whatever the families, his and hers, agreed upon to pay him for taking on that financial burden that is a wife. Ladies, let's not pretend that you aren't a burden. Some of you are less a burden than others. But that's what courtship was. Not this 21st century repackaging of the concept, which is basically just tricking and simping. That's not what courtship is, nor is it that what it ever was. If you are a Western woman, if you are a modern-minded 21st century woman, and you do not have a hymen membrane still intact, you don't deserve courtship. Now, you can date all you want to, but you are disqualified from courtship if a man has touched you who's not your husband. Or to say it a different way, no hymen, no diamond. Do you get it now? Men are, well, you did get one thing right though. Women do set the stage, and men are dynamic. If you no longer have to go through that whole courtship process, because most of you don't even know who your fathers are, and that's not your fault. Your mom went through her 304 phase 20-something years ago, and so she never knew which of the 20 guys she banged that week got one past the goalie. She don't know who your father is. A lot of you ladies don't. Or she ran him off. So yeah, the courtship rituals are long dead in the West. So no, men have no desire to go through that any further when y'all are passing out the punani like Halloween candy. No, men are dynamic, meaning we change and adapt to the market and the conditions around us. And if it's easy to get, we're going to keep it that way. Now, if you ladies close your legs as a corporate unit, then yeah, men will go back to the way things used to be. But I don't hold my breath for such aspirations. I will instead go to the airport and fly overseas to where women still behave the way they used to and actually have something to offer. She is cute though. I smash.
Women who don't want to date a broke man are not gold diggers. They're peace seekers. Dating a broke man is anything but peaceful. If a man feels like he's not where he wants to be in life, or he feels inferior to his peers or his partner, he is always stressed and irritated and mean. He might even try to belittle you because he wants to bring you down to his level. A broke man is unreliable. He's unhappy, and you'll find yourself always trying to lift his spirits and overcompensating to show how much you support him. It's draining. It's emotionally draining. A broke man is hard to respect because he doesn't respect himself. A broke man really has no business dating because he has yet to fully be able to take care of himself and support himself, so he won't be able to show up and fully support you as a partner. You don't want a broke man to prioritize you before he prioritizes his own life, because eventually he will resent you as he watches you move forward in life, as he fades into the background as one of your supporters. If you become his life, he forgets who he is, and a man with no purpose or identity of his own is either very depressed or a dangerous man, or both, which is a horrible combination. He could become controlling and manipulative. Your relationship becomes the one place where he feels like he's on top, and you don't want to be in that situation. It's the breeding ground for verbal and physical abuse, just to make sure you don't get too out of reach of him. So no, choosing not to date a broke man is not just about money and material things and status. It's about preferring to date someone with drive, purpose, and confidence, with a clear plan and direction in life, who's proven that he is resourceful and stable. So no, women who won't date a broke man are not gold diggers. They're just looking for peace.
One of the worst weapons Satan has ever used against humanity is the half-truth, guys. Where there's a little sprinkle of truth over top a mountain of bullshit and he passes you a spoon to eat the whole thing. This is what just happened to us. Listen to this woman speak. This woman who has the stench of I've been to college all over her. One feminist professor after another has shaped this creature's mind to believe that if a man isn't among the top 10 to 5% of income earners, he's somehow dangerous to his romantic companion. Meanwhile, we've got video footage of Diddy beating the ever-loving dog shit out of Cassie. That guy's worth $1 billion or more. Ridiculous. But guys, this is yet another opportunity for these creatures, these vaginal supremacists, to look down their noses at us and men who work every day, who bother no one, men who obey the speed limit, men who pay their taxes in full and on time, men who put the uniform on every day. Like myself, formerly, I was a part of our military, and there's guys just like me all over the world, at bases everywhere. Not to mention the guys who are firefighters, law enforcement, EMTs, guys who work down the docks, the shipyards, guys who drive trucks, guys who are doing good things for society. Little league coaches, senseis at karate schools, these guys who have youth boxing leagues. These men aren't multimillionaires in most cases, but they're good men, and they're making a decent living, an honest living. And this thing on my screen has the nerve, the audacity to look down her nose and say, because first of all, let's say this real quick. Broke is subjective. You can be a multimillionaire and don't spend no money on a chick, and she'll call you broke because you aren't buying her a bunch of designer bags and shoes. But if that's all she brings to you is that cooch, why would you? Why would you buy depreciating assets for yet another depreciating asset? Because most modern women only bring their cooch to the table. That's all they got. So yeah, that degrades every 26 to 28 days, one menstrual cycle at a time. But maybe that's too graphic for some people. The half-truth in all this is, yeah, it is very true that you should not make a woman your whole world. You shouldn't make a woman the focus of your goals in life, because the fastest way to lose her is to love her too much. That part is true. But what she purposely overlooked, guys, is the stress in a man's life who's quote-unquote broke isn't because he didn't have enough money. There's plenty of things you can do with a female companion that don't involve spending a cent. That's not where the stress comes from, guys. And she knows it. The stress comes from either A, her throwing it in your face every 5 minutes, y'all don't have enough money because her perspective is you don't have enough. B, maybe she gets a promotion or a raise on her job, and now she's making just as much or more than the man is, and now she's throwing that in his face. Or C, a ruthless, vindictive, evil combination of the two. That's where the stress comes from about money when it comes to most couples. Yeah, bills are bills. Everybody's got bills. Who isn't completely debt-free? We all have that cross to bear. But it's when your woman is not nagging you about it that you're not stressed about it. Richard Cooper from the Entrepreneurs in Cars channel. I'll leave a link to his channel down below, pinned at the top. Great content creator. I think he's up in Canada, I believe. He made a statement some years ago. I never forgot it. He said, women do not care about your struggles, guys. They wait at the finish line and fuck the winners. And that is so true. But I don't think she wants the smoke she thinks she wants. Because if the prevailing wisdom is broke men don't deserve no coochie, fantastic. Let's make the new counteracting rule, fat chicks don't deserve money or attention. But I don't think someone like you would like that too much. No, I don't think you would. Gentlemen, if you're scraping by right now and you're scrambling to keep your head above water, but you're working towards something, you're building a business or you're climbing the corporate ladder, whatever it is, and you're on your path to becoming somebody of worth and means, remember chicks like this. Remember their contempt for you at the bottom, and remind yourself they aren't allowed to share the view with you when you get to the top.
Another one.
Large-scale oppression of women wouldn't be possible without the complicity of the men around us. If the men in your life truly had your best interests at heart, they would be outraged by the things that happen to women and have happened to women. It's not just the minority of misogynistic men who cause this, it's the silent and indifferent men that continue to let it happen. A man who had your best interests at heart would stand up for your rights, speak out against injustice, and hold other men accountable. Imagine how different things would be if men used their voice to hold others accountable, to speak out against misogyny, to challenge their own bias and their own privilege. It wouldn't feel like such an uphill battle for women to win this never-ending war of oppression.
When your goal upon awakening every morning is to be offended, you will be successful. This is mind-blowing to me, guys. How blonde-haired, blue-eyed Becky here, who probably drinks her body weight in pumpkin lattes this time of year, is screaming about oppression. The single most privileged group of people to have ever walked this earth's surface, pampered, who know nothing of oppression. This woman doesn't look 300 years old to me. She's talking about how the men in our society don't hold other men accountable. My guess is she's never heard of police. My guess is she's never heard of white knights. My guess is she doesn't know she can cry and get the entire world to move to her whim to try to solve her problem. She pretends that she's too stupid to know any of those things when we both know she's not. Gentlemen, these people, these effinists are poison in our society. And the sad part is, guys, they don't even believe what they're saying. Which is why I'm unimpressed with their so-called plight. Because I've been to the other side of the world, guys. I've been to regions in the world where women just do not speak this way. They dare not. And for that reason, I would love to see her and her little sisterhood go over to places like Kandahar province in Afghanistan. I would love to see them march through Tehran, Iran, talking this. I'd love to see them go over to that part of the world. Because they deal with women like this in a very, very surgical way. And I say surgical because it often involves razor-sharp objects. I won't say much more because YouTube probably wouldn't allow me to. But yeah. It's very easy and very convenient to talk about how oppressed you are from the comfort and safety of a Western nation that has a constitutional protection over the things you say out of your mouth. First one on the list, oppressed my ass. Ridiculous. Never take them seriously, guys. Only defeat them at the ballot box. Never take them seriously, fellas. Only defeat them at the ballot box. That's all I got for today, fellas. That's my time. Like the video, comment down below, share with a friend and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we working. Until next time.